Well, folks, we're here with a special edition of Shop Talk this week, and we are here at the Holcomb Garage and Papa Heeter race team, I think it is.
Papa H.
Papa H, okay. Papa H, your race team. And we're going to talk a little bit about this championship team here in the factory stock division at Lakeside Speedway. And Brett, you know, it does seem like it wasn't that long ago, maybe just back in May, that you and I were sitting right here somewhere, and we were discussing how everything was in place this year for Papa H race team to make a run at that championship. And sure enough, it happened. You guys put it together for the year, and you come out with a championship. You got to be really feeling great about that.
Oh, definitely. We came into this season with that in sight, and you know, we knew we had all of our equipment in place to do it, and that was our goal. And we just approached every week like it was week one, and just kept looking forward, and paid off for us.
Take them one at a time. Go out there, run each race, see what the track's going to give you, and go for it.
That's exactly right.
I was going to say, you got to do it each week. You can't look ahead. You can't look behind. Whatever comes at you, you got to go with what there is. Brett, I know that for a team to win a championship, there's just more than Brett Heeter out there. Even though a lot of times you get that victory circle admiration, but there's a big race team that's behind every driver and car that's on the track. And Brett, I know you've assembled what you could of the team this year, and they're here with us today. And if you would, I'd like for you to go through and introduce each one of them, kind of tell us what they do, and whatever you've got to say to either one of those. And I think we got some gentlemen right here.
Awesome. Yeah, this is kind of the guys that help us out here. We got my buddy JM, my brother-in-law Justin, my uncle Rick, and then my sponsor, Commercial Fleet Service. These guys just, whatever I need help in the shop during the week, wrenches turn at the track, tire pressures, there's a lot of stuff to do that we can't do alone, and every one of these guys take a part in doing that.
You know, I had just one little question. I hate to step out of the picture there for a minute, but I wanted to talk to the guys that work here in the garage. Can you give us an idea of about how many hours each week it took on maintenance just here in the garage?
Just here in the garage, I mean, just for me, I'd probably put in weekly 5-6 hours, you know. I mean, it depended on week to week if, you know, how good the week was, how bad the week was. So I'd say probably 5-6 hours a week just for me.
For me, being a racer myself, working on my own car, helping out with their car, every night through the week, I'd say probably anywhere from 5 to 6 hours a night. It's just constantly going and going.
For me, I was just a weekend warrior.
I was there for the weekends too.
Yeah. I wanted to talk to Buster, if we can hand him the microphone over there for just a minute, and
Buster Billy.
Buster Billy. But one of the main sponsors on this race car, you know, when we get to talking about sponsorship, guys, I don't think there's a race team out there that can exist without it. And it must take a special person, you know, to be able to step up and do that. Is it that you're a big race fan? Is it the opportunity for advertising? Or what is it that a sponsor looks at when you're talking about sponsoring a race team?
Both of those play a factor into it. I don't think the sponsorship, as far as advertising, does us a lot of good. It's just that we're fans and we really like what's going on, and we like to help out, and that's about what we can do to help them out.
Yeah, I was going to say it has to be somebody that has to be a race fan and really enjoys racing, because you're the only people that I know that advertise on 90-mile-an-hour billboards.
Right. Not many people see it when it's going that fast.
And a lot of times they go by so fast you can't hardly make out the letters. But once again, like I say, man, a race team just cannot exist without sponsors. And me, for one, I just want to say thank you for doing that, and I know that the Pop H race team, I'm sure, are very appreciative of everything that you've done during the year. Plus, Brett's told me, I think you're there every week.
Oh, yeah, we like to go see the races every week.
Yeah, okay. Yep. All right, we're going to go on, and Brett, if you want to introduce somebody else over here, why, we'll continue on.
Just moral support, definitely, from my mom and my dad, outside of what my dad does for me in the car. And then there's some people that couldn't be here today, unfortunately. My cousin Levi, he's turned a lot of wrenches on my race car. He probably knows my car better than me. And he couldn't be here. He's out of town doing some work. And then Dave's brother Phil also couldn't make it here with us today, and if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have that body on that race car, and it wouldn't look as good as it does. And then also Glittner and Sons, he had a pretty bad accident and is not in town, so he couldn't make it here, and he's another key sponsor that really helps us get things done. And then the two major people that make this happen would be, of course, Dave Holcomb, my car owner, and my dad, Bobby Heeter. Without the hours these two put in, Dad's sleepless nights of searching cam combinations and just you name it, I mean, the hours he puts in. And then Dave, when I can't be here, I mean, he's built me a grade A race car and given me an opportunity to drive a car better than I've probably ever driven before. And he puts a lot of trust in me, and without these two here, I really could not do it without them, definitely.
Okay. Thought we might ask Dave a few questions, if you want to hand Dave the microphone there for just a second. Dave, understand you've got about 8 race cars that you've built over the years, and wanted to ask you, building one of these factory stocks, what is it? Is it the years of experience that you've had in being in them and around them that you kind of take an idea here, an idea there, and put them together?
Oh, yes, tremendously. The thing it is in the racing business, everybody has built cars, and you take ideas from everybody because they're ingenious of what they think of to do, because we have to run stock parts and make them race parts.
Right.
So you can't say that you build anything. You've gotten a lot of good ideas from other people, and I've had fun with everybody that I have learned from, and learned from some very, very good people, and continue to learn.
Yeah. One of the other things that you were telling me as we were talking earlier was that when you do build a race car, it's not only that you're looking for performance on the track, but it's also the idea that on this level, not professionals, you've got to walk away from that accident because you may have a job to go to the next day.
Oh yes, I get it. I've raised 2 kids, put them through college, and everybody that is involved in it has a family to go to, kids to go to, and this is just a game. It's just for fun. I want everybody to be able to have fun. You wreck the car, it's just a piece of metal, so we have to move on. And I don't want everybody, including myself and the kids that drive and the people around, to be able to take and walk away and go to work the next day, and we need to fight another day.
Yeah. Well, Dave, once again, congratulations on this points championship. There was one other question I forgot I wanted to ask you. What was it about Brett Heeter that you decided, hey, this young man has got something special, I want him in one of my cars? What did you see in Brett?
Well, I knew that he could wheel a car, and when we went into the second year, I finally figured out that he had the patience to understand what it took to race a car.
Okay. We're going to move on to Bobby. We're getting a little short on time. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to run you out here. But this is Brett's dad, Bobby. And Bobby, I know you're the motor man on this. And like you say, or like Brett has said, it was a few sleepless nights trying to figure out how to make one of these little motors do what they do, wrap them things up. And what would have been the biggest problem, motor-wise, that Papa H race team had this year?
Our rocker arm issue. That was the biggest one. We actually probably lost 1 or 2 feature wins because of a rocker arm failure. So once that started playing a part, we had to actually tear it apart each week and actually get Mike and the balls for the rocker arms to find out, okay, is this one a couple thousand short because of the rocker or the ball? And and that's what actually started making the car continue to run on all 8 cylinders.
Yeah. What's the biggest issue as far as the motors? Is it just the rocker arms, or is there something beyond that that's causing this?
It's just an oiling issue with the stock. It's a stock part you're trying to make a race part out of. Okay. And it's not meant to do what we're doing with it.
Okay. All right, Bobby. Thank you a lot. I'm going to hand the microphone back over to Brett here, as we've just got just a few seconds left. And Brett, all I can say is, a guy for a young man your age, come out and do this, Rookie of the Year, I think it was 2003, and then come back here and win the points in 2009.
Well, thank you very much, and I couldn't do it without every person you've seen here. I just can't thank them enough.